Lisa Martinez adjusted her formal diplomatic uniform as she walked through the gleaming halls of the Centauri Prime space station. The massive structure served as the heart of the Galactic Federation, where representatives from hundreds of spacefaring civilizations gathered to discuss matters of cosmic importance. At 28 years old, she was the youngest junior ambassador Earth had ever sent to the Federation. Her dark hair was pulled back in a neat bun, and her brown eyes carried a quiet determination that most aliens misread as naivety. The main chamber of the Galactic Summit stretched out before her, a vast amphitheater filled with beings from across the galaxy. The air hummed with translation devices and environmental systems that kept each species comfortable in their designated sections. "Ah, if it isn't the representative from that backwater world," a voice called out. Ambassador Krell of the Draconian Empire towered over her, his scaled skin shimmering under the chamber's lights. "Tell me, has your species managed to visit all the planets in your own solar system yet?" Scattered laughter echoed through the chamber. Lisa kept her face neutral, even as her fingers tightened slightly on her datapad. The Draconians, with their vast empire and advanced technology, had been particularly vocal about Earth's primitive status in recent meetings. "We continue to make progress at our own pace, Ambassador Krell," Lisa replied calmly. She took her seat at Earth's designated platform, which floated at the same level as all other member worlds, despite many believing Earth didn't deserve such equal positioning. The Federation president, a tall, crystalline being from the Arcturus system, called the session to order. Today's agenda includes discussion of technological sharing initiatives between member worlds. A holographic display appeared in the center of the chamber, showing various technological advancement metrics. Earth's position was near the bottom in most categories. "I move to discuss the resource allocation for technological development," announced Ambassador Krell, his reptilian eyes fixed on Lisa. "Specifically, why we continue to waste Federation resources on worlds that barely understand basic gravity manipulation. The Draconian Empire supports limiting advanced technology sharing to worlds that have achieved at least Level 3 spacefaring status," added another scaled diplomat. Lisa activated her speaker. "Earth understands the concerns of our more advanced members. However, we believe diversity in technological development leads to unique innovations." "Unique?" Krell let out a bark of laughter. "Your ships still use chemical propulsion for planetary launches. My species mastered gravity drives before your people invented the wheel." More laughter filled the chamber. Lisa noticed several of the smaller Federation members shifting uncomfortably. The Draconians had been getting more aggressive lately, not just in words, but in their expansion across the galaxy. "Perhaps," Lisa responded, her voice steady, "there's value in walking before you run. Earth's approach to technology may be different, but we learn thoroughly from each step we take." A blue-skinned diplomat from the Pleiades sector spoke up. "The human has a point. Different paths of development." "Different paths," Krell interrupted. "They're still experimenting with fusion power while we harvest energy from quantum singularities. I've seen their military vessels, primitive warships that would barely survive a meteor storm, let alone a real space battle." Lisa thought about the classified reports sitting in her secure quarters, about Project Prometheus, hidden deep beneath the Nevada desert, about the quantum AI innovations that Earth had kept secret from the Federation. She allowed herself a small smile. "We appreciate the feedback from our esteemed colleagues," she said diplomatically. "Earth will continue its development program as we see fit." "See fit?" Krell's scales darkened with anger. "Your species is barely fit to be in space. When real threats emerge in this galaxy, don't expect the Draconian Empire to protect primitive worlds that can't defend themselves." The chamber erupted in heated discussions. Lisa noticed the Federation president watching the exchange with concern. The tensions between worlds had been rising, and everyone knew the Draconians were flexing their military might in the outer systems. As the session continued, Lisa made her notes and sent encrypted updates back to Earth. "Let them mock humanity's primitive technology. let them underestimate Earth's true capabilities. Sometimes, she realized, being underestimated was the greatest advantage of all. She thought about the massive shape taking form in that underground facility, about the innovations that would shock the galaxy. Earth had learned long ago that it was better to be underestimated than feared, at least until the right moment arrived. The session ended with more veiled insults and diplomatic tensions. As Lisa gathered her materials, she received an encrypted message on her datapad. Her eyes widened slightly as she read it. Project Prometheus. Final testing phase complete. Operational status. Ready. Deep beneath the Nevada desert, Admiral Robert Wilson stood at the observation window, looking at humanity's greatest achievement. The massive underground chamber stretched for miles, housing a ship that would change the galaxy forever. Project Prometheus is ready for final checks, sir, said Amanda Foster, walking up beside him. As chief engineer, she had spent 5 years helping build this marvel. Her red hair was messy from working long hours, but her eyes sparkled with pride. Below them, the U.S. Prometheus filled the massive cave. Its sleek black hull absorbed light in a strange way, making it hard to look at directly. The ship was 3 miles long but looked oddly graceful despite its size. Start the AI activation sequence, Wilson ordered. He straightened his navy blue uniform and walked to the control room, Amanda following close behind. The control room buzzed with activity. Dozens of technicians worked at their stations, monitoring the ship's systems. On the main screen, green status lights blinked one by one. Air, are you online? Amanda spoke to the air. A soft blue light filled the room. Online and functioning. Chief Foster. The voice was neither male nor female, but somehow felt friendly and alive. Air was Earth's most advanced AI, designed to work with the human crew of Prometheus. Run diagnostics on all systems, Wilson commanded. Running diagnostics, Air responded. Hull integrity at 100%. Quantum drive ready. Shield systems operational. Weapons systems primed. All systems showing green status. Wilson smiled. The ship represented everything humanity had kept hidden from the galaxy. While other species mocked Earth's primitive technology, they had been building something revolutionary. Show me the crew quarters status, Amanda said. Holograms appeared in the air, showing the inside of the massive ship. Unlike alien vessels, Prometheus was built with both human comfort and efficiency in mind. The crew areas looked almost like a luxury hotel, with gardens, recreation areas, and comfortable living spaces. Sir, a young technician called out. We're receiving a priority message from Ambassador Martinez. Wilson walked to the communication station. The message was brief but concerning. The Draconians were becoming more aggressive in the Federation. Several peaceful worlds had reported Draconian warships in their systems. They think we're weak, Wilson said quietly. They're getting bold because they think Earth can't fight back. Amanda touched the nearest wall panel, bringing up the ship's specifications. Wait until they see what Prometheus can do. Our quantum AI processing is generations ahead of anything in the galaxy. The hull is made of materials they don't even know exist. Show me the weapon systems, Wilson ordered. New holograms appeared. The ship's main cannon used principles of physics that other species hadn't discovered yet. Instead of normal energy weapons, it could alter gravity itself, turning space into a weapon. Air, run a simulation of the main cannon, Amanda said. The AI created a detailed battle simulation. In it, a single shot from Prometheus could disable an entire fleet by creating a controlled gravity well. The power was almost scary to watch. Sir, the same technician called out again. Ambassador Martinez reports that the Draconians are threatening several Federation worlds. They're demanding technology transfers and resources. Wilson's face hardened. They're bullies who think nobody can stand up to them. How long until we can launch? Prometheus can launch today, Air answered. All systems are functioning at optimal levels. The crew can board within 6 hours. Amanda pulled up more displays, showing the ship's special features. The artificial gravity systems were more advanced than anything known in the galaxy. The shields could absorb almost any attack. Best of all, the quantum AI could react faster than any alien computer. "Begin crew boarding procedures," Wilson ordered. "It's time to show the galaxy what humanity can really do." Alarms began to sound, not emergency alarms, but the exciting sound of a ship preparing to launch. Throughout the base, crew members who had trained for years began heading to their stations. "Send word to Ambassador Martinez," Wilson said. "Tell her to stay calm and keep playing the part of the primitive species. Help is coming." Amanda looked one last time at the massive ship through the window. "They mocked us for being slow to develop technology," she said. "They never understood that we were taking our time to do it right." Wilson nodded. Humanity learned long ago that it's not about having the most advanced technology. It's about having the right technology, used in the right way. The underground chamber began to buzz with energy as Prometheus powered up its systems. Soon, the galaxy would learn that they had severely underestimated Earth. The time for hiding was almost over. The emergency alarms in the Galactic Federation chambers wouldn't stop ringing. Lisa Martinez watched as panic spread through the Great Hall. Alien diplomats rushed around, their translator devices creating a chaos of overlapping voices. "The Draconian fleet has entered the Proxima system," announced a small, green-skinned diplomat. "They're demanding immediate surrender of all outer colonies." The Federation president's crystalline form sparkled with stress patterns. "Ambassador Krell, explain your empire's actions immediately." Krell, the Draconian representative, stood tall and proud. His scaled face showed no shame. "The Draconian Empire is claiming its rightful territory. Weak worlds must submit to strong ones. That is the way of the galaxy. This is an act of war," shouted several ambassadors. Lisa sat quietly, watching everything unfold. She had just received a secret message from Admiral Wilson. Prometheus was ready, but the timing had to be perfect. The main screen showed the Draconian invasion fleet. 50 massive warships moved through space, their weapons already burning planets that resisted. The ships looked like giant metal dragons, designed to strike fear into everyone who saw them. "What about the Federation Defense Fleet?" someone asked. The president's voice was heavy. "Our ships are no match for the new Draconian weapons. They've been holding back their true military strength." More emergency signals flashed on the screen. The Draconians were attacking 3 more star systems. Their ships used some kind of new energy weapon that cut through standard shields like they weren't even there. "Earth offers its help," Lisa said suddenly, standing up. The chamber went quiet for a moment. Then laughter erupted, led by Krell. "Earth, help." Krell could barely speak through his laughter. "Your primitive ships would be destroyed before they even got close to our fleet." Lisa kept her face calm. "We have resources you haven't seen." "The human is clearly in shock," Krell said to the chamber. "Perhaps we should send some ships to protect Earth. After all, they can't possibly defend themselves." Just then, a new emergency signal lit up the screens. The colony world of New Hope was under attack. The planet had 6 million people living on it, mostly families who had settled there looking for peace. "Please," the colony governor's hologram begged. "We need immediate assistance. We have no weapons, no defenses." Lisa checked her secure datapad. A message from Admiral Wilson flashed. "Prometheus en route. Keep them distracted." "The Draconian Empire makes a generous offer," Krell announced. "Submit to our rule, and we will protect you. Resist." And he let the threat hang in the air. More reports of attacks flooded in. The Federation Defense Fleet tried to fight back, but their ships were easily destroyed by Draconian weapons. The galaxy was watching its peaceful era end in fire. "This is what happens when weak species try to play at being strong," Krell said, looking directly at Lisa. "Perhaps Earth would like to surrender now. Save us the trouble of coming to your system later." Lisa stood up again. "Earth will not surrender. And we suggest the Draconian Empire think very carefully about its next moves. Or what? Krell laughed again. Will you throw rocks at our ships? Perhaps shoot at us with your primitive missiles. The chamber's mood was dark. Many species were already sending surrender messages to the Draconians. The Federation was falling apart in just a few hours. Then Lisa's datapad lit up with a final message from Admiral Wilson. Prometheus in position. Showtime. She looked up at Krell, who was still mocking Earth's technology. Ambassador Krell, she said clearly, I suggest you watch the next report from New Hope very carefully. Why? Do you want to see how a real military power deals with? Krell stopped talking as the main screen changed. A new ship had appeared near New Hope. It was huge, black, and unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen. What is that? The Federation president asked. Lisa smiled for the first time that day. That, Mr. President, is humanity's response to bullies. The chamber watched in silence as U.S. Prometheus moved into position between the Draconian fleet and New Hope. The ship's strange hull seemed to bend light around it. Impossible, Krell whispered. Earth couldn't have built that. You don't have the technology. You seem surprised, Ambassador, Lisa said calmly. Didn't anyone ever tell you that appearances can be deceiving? The first battle of a new era was about to begin, and Earth was finally ready to show its true power. Captain David Chen stood on the bridge of U.S. Prometheus, looking at the Draconian fleet through the main viewport. His crew worked quietly at their stations, each person trained for this moment. The ship's interior glowed with soft blue light from Aria's presence. Draconian ships are moving to surround us, reported Lieutenant Sarah Banks from the tactical station. They're charging weapons. Aria. Analysis of enemy fleet, David ordered. The AI's calm voice filled the bridge. 50 Draconian warships. Their weapons are powerful but predictable. Their shields cannot stop our quantum systems. We have an 89% advantage in this engagement. A harsh voice came through the communication system. Unknown vessel, this is Fleet Commander Zex of the Draconian Empire. Your ship design is not in our database. Identify yourself, or be destroyed. David straightened his uniform. This is Captain David Chen of the U.S. Prometheus, Earth Defense Force. You are ordered to leave this colony immediately. Silence filled the communication channel for a moment. Then laughter erupted. Earth? This is an Earth ship. Commander Zex sounded amused. Impossible. Your species can barely reach your own moon. Sir, Sarah reported, they're moving into attack formation. David smiled slightly. Aria, initiate Defense Protocol 1. Show them what we can do. The first Draconian ship fired its main weapon, a beam of energy that could cut through normal shields like paper. It hit Prometheus directly. Nothing happened. Enemy weapon absorbed, Aria reported. Shield strength at 99.9%. Now the silence on the communication channel was different. It was the silence of shock. What kind of shields are those? Commander Zex demanded. Quantum matrix shields, David replied calmly. Something we developed while you were busy mocking our technology. Would you like to see what else we've been working on? All ships, open fire, Zex ordered. The space around Prometheus lit up with energy beams and plasma bolts. The massive Earth ship sat motionless, its strange black hull absorbing or deflecting everything. Shield strength at 99.5%, Aria reported. Shall I demonstrate our defensive capabilities, Captain? David nodded. Show them a small sample. Prometheus's hull began to glow with a soft purple light. Suddenly, 10 Draconian ships found themselves unable to move, caught in invisible force fields. What is this? Zex's voice shook with anger. Release our ships. Localize gravity control, David explained. We noticed your ships don't have protection against gravity manipulation. An oversight, perhaps. In the Federation chamber, the assembled diplomats watched in stunned silence. The massive view screen showed Prometheus effortlessly holding 10 draconian warships in place. "Impossible," Ambassador Krell whispered. "They're primitives." Lisa Martinez stood up. "No, Ambassador. We're human. There's a big difference." Back on Prometheus, David watched as the remaining draconian ships tried to maneuver into better positions. Their formations were good, but they moved like they were underwater compared to Earth's ship. "Show them our speed," David ordered. Prometheus moved. 1 second, it was in the center of the draconian fleet. The next, it was behind them. The ship's quantum drive made it look like it had teleported. "How?" Commander Zex demanded. "No ship can move that fast." "Our AI can process faster than your computers," David explained. "Our quantum drive can bend space in ways you haven't discovered yet. Would you like to surrender now?" The draconian ships regrouped, forming a tight defensive circle. Their weapons charged again. "Draconians never surrender to primitives," Zex shouted. David sighed. Power up the main cannon. Low power demonstration only." The front of Prometheus began to glow with a strange light that hurt to look at. Energy collected in ways that defied normal physics. "Sir," Sarah reported, "all Federation sensors are recording this. The whole galaxy is watching." David stood up from his captain's chair. "Commander Zex, this is your final warning. Leave this colony, or we will be forced to demonstrate our main weapon." "Never," Zex replied. "Fire all weapons." The draconian fleet unleashed everything they had. Energy beams, plasma torpedoes, and destruction rays all hit Prometheus at once. The Earth shift shields flared with beautiful colors but held firm. "All right," David said quietly. Show them what Earth can really do." The galaxy was about to learn why you should never underestimate humans. The main cannon of Prometheus fired. A beam of twisted space-time shot out, bending light around it in impossible ways. It didn't hit the draconian ships directly. It didn't need to. Instead, it created a small area where gravity went crazy. 5 draconian warships found themselves being pulled apart by forces they couldn't understand. Their shields, designed to stop energy weapons, did nothing against the strange gravity effects. "What? What are you doing to my ships?" Commander Zex's voice shook with fear. "Lieutenant Maria Rodriguez, Launch Fighter Squadron," Captain Chen ordered, ignoring the draconian commander. The sides of Prometheus opened, revealing launch bays. But these weren't normal fighters. Each small ship glowed with the same strange black material as the main ship. They moved like no fighters anyone had ever seen before. Maria sat in the lead fighter, her hands on controls that responded to her thoughts. "Eagle Squadron, form up. Let's show them what Earth can do." The fighters didn't use normal engines. They slipped through space like ghosts, appearing and disappearing as they pleased. The draconian ships tried to shoot them down, but their weapons couldn't lock onto the Earth fighters. "Impossible," Zex shouted. "Fighter ships can't have quantum drives." "Says who?" Maria replied as her squadron danced between enemy ships. "Maybe you should have spent less time mocking us and more time innovating." In the Federation chamber, the aliens watched in amazement. Earth's fighters were running circles around the mighty draconian fleet. Ambassador Krell had fallen silent, his scaled face pale with shock. Back in the battle, Aria's voice filled every Earth ship. Enemy vessels attempting to call for reinforcements. Their communications are being blocked by our quantum field. "Sir," Sarah Banks called from her tactical station, "3 draconian ships are trying to escape." Captain Chen nodded. "Lieutenant Rodriguez, show them why that's a bad idea." Maria grinned inside her fighter. "Eagle Squadron, Pattern Delta. Let's box them in." The Earth fighters moved in perfect formation, their quantum drives creating a web of twisted space. The running draconian ships suddenly found themselves trapped in a maze they couldn't escape. "This is what happens when you underestimate humanity," Maria said as she led her squadron in another perfect attack run. Her fighters didn't even fire weapons. They just created small gravity distortions that tore through draconian shields like they weren't there. On Prometheus's bridge, Captain Chen watched the battle with calm eyes. ARIA, status report. Enemy fleet effectiveness reduced by 60%. No damage to Prometheus or our fighters. The colony is safe. Commander Zex's voice came through again, but this time it wasn't proud or mocking. Please, what do you want? We'll give you anything. You attacked peaceful worlds, Chen replied. You threatened innocent colonists. You mocked Earth while building weapons of war. What we want is your surrender. The remaining draconian ships hung in space, their mighty weapons useless against Earth's technology. The fighters of Eagle Squadron continued their dance around them, creating beautiful patterns of twisted space. Sir, Sarah reported, we're getting surrender signals from 32 draconian ships. In the Federation chamber, Lisa Martinez stood up again. As you can see, she said to the stunned aliens, Earth has been busy. While you mocked our primitive technology, we were developing something new, something better. The main screen showed Prometheus in all its glory. The massive black ship seemed to bend reality around it, its hull absorbing light in ways that hurt to look at. The Earth fighters zipped around it like protective angels, their quantum drives leaving trails of twisted space. How? Ambassador Krell finally asked. How did you hide this from us? We didn't hide, Lisa replied. We just let you believe what you wanted to believe. It's amazing what people will overlook when they think they're superior. Back at the battle, Captain Chen looked at the scared draconian ships. Commander Zex, here are our terms. You will leave this colony. You will leave all peaceful worlds. The era of draconian bullying is over. And if we refuse? Zex asked, but his voice had lost all its strength. The main cannon of Prometheus began to glow again. The Earth fighters moved into new attack positions. Aria's blue light pulsed through the ship. Would you like to find out? Chen asked quietly. The galaxy watched as the mighty draconian fleet surrendered to the ship from the primitive world they had mocked for so long. Earth's time of hiding was over, and a new age was about to begin. Commander Zex wasn't ready to give up yet. Despite seeing half his fleet disabled, his pride wouldn't let him surrender to primitives. He had one last trick to try. All remaining ships, he ordered, activate the forbidden weapons. Fire everything at once. The 15 surviving draconian ships started to glow with a dangerous red light. They were overloading their cores, preparing to release enough energy to destroy everything within a light year. On Prometheus's bridge, Aria's blue light pulsed quickly. Warning. Enemy ships preparing to detonate their core reactors. Explosion will destroy the colony and all ships in range. Captain Chen stood up from his chair. So they'd rather destroy everything than admit defeat. Typical bullies. He touched a control panel. Lieutenant Rodriguez, get your fighters clear. Aria, prepare the gravity shield. The what? Commander Zex's voice showed surprise again. In the Federation chamber, the aliens watched with horror as they realized what the Draconians were trying to do. Ambassador Krell smiled, thinking his people would at least take the Earth ship with them. Cores at critical level, Sarah Banks reported from her tactical station. Detonation in 10 seconds. Now, Aria, Chen ordered calmly. Prometheus's strange black hull began to ripple like water. A wave of distorted space spread out from the ship, surrounding not just the Earth vessel, but the entire colony world. The draconian ships exploded. The combined power of 15 overloaded cores created a blast that should have destroyed everything. The explosion was so bright that the Federation chamber's view screens had to dim themselves. But when the light faded, Prometheus and the colony were untouched. What? What did you do? Zex's voice came weakly from his escape pod. Gravity manipulation on a massive scale, Chen explained. We bent space itself to redirect your explosion away from anything important. Would you like to try something else? Maria's fighters swept in, easily capturing Zex's escape pod and those of other Draconian commanders. The mighty warriors who had terrorized the galaxy were now helpless. In the Federation chamber, Ambassador Krell finally broke. "I demand to know how Earth did this. You were primitives. We watched you. We studied you." Lisa Martinez walked down to the chamber floor, her steps calm and confident. "You watched what we wanted you to watch. You studied what we let you see. While you were laughing at our chemical rockets and simple satellites, we were learning things about space and gravity that you never imagined." The Federation President's crystalline form sparkled with amazement. "Why hide your true capabilities for so long?" "Because," Lisa explained, "Earth learned long ago that true strength isn't about showing off. It's about being ready when it matters. We knew someday a bully would come along, thinking they could push everyone around. We prepared for that day." On Prometheus, Captain Chen was receiving messages from across the galaxy. Other worlds threatened by the Draconians were calling for help. Earth's ship had done what the entire Federation fleet couldn't do. It had stopped the unstoppable Draconian Empire. "Sir," Sarah reported with a smile, "the Draconians are sending out orders for all their ships to retreat from Federation space." Chen nodded. "RIA, send a message to all Draconian forces. Tell them Earth will be watching. If they threaten peaceful worlds again, they'll learn what else we've been developing." The eye's blue light pulsed in agreement. The quantum drives that powered Prometheus hummed softly, ready to take the ship wherever it was needed. Lieutenant Rodriguez brought her fighters back in formation around the massive Earth ship. The strange black vessels looked like an honor guard for humanity's defender. "Captain," Araya announced, "Admiral Wilson is calling from Earth." Admiral Wilson's hologram appeared on the bridge. He looked at the scene of victory with pride. "Well done, Captain. You've shown the galaxy what humanity can really do. But remember, this is just the beginning." Chen looked at his crew, at the advanced systems of Prometheus, at the captured Draconian escape pods. "Sir, what do you mean just the beginning?" Wilson smiled. "Prometheus isn't our only ship, Captain. She's just the first. Earth is ready to take its true place in the galaxy." The news spread across space at quantum speed. Earth, the world everyone had mocked as primitive, had just become the most powerful force in the galaxy. And they had done it not through bullying or threats, but by quietly preparing to defend peace. The age of underestimating humanity was over. 1 month after the Battle of New Hope, the Galactic Federation gathered for a special session. The Great Chamber looked different now. Earth's section had been moved to a place of honor, and Ambassador Lisa Martinez stood at the main podium. The chamber was fuller than ever before. Every species wanted to hear what Earth had to say. Even the Draconians were there, though Ambassador Krell had been replaced by a more humble representative. "Friends, fellow members of the Federation," Lisa began. "For years, Earth listened as others called us primitive. We smiled when you mocked our technology. We stayed quiet when you laughed at our simple ships." She touched a control, and a hologram appeared. It showed not just one Prometheus-class ship, but 5 of them. Each massive black vessel hung in Earth orbit, their quantum drives ready. "Today, we want to share something with you," Lisa continued. "Earth never wanted to be a warrior society. We built these ships not to conquer, but to defend. Not to threaten, but to protect." Admiral Wilson stood up from his seat. "Earth is offering to help protect any peaceful world that asks for it. Our ships will defend Federation trade routes. Our technology will help stop pirates and bullies." The Federation president spoke up. "But surely Earth will want payment for this protection. Resources, technology." Lisa smiled. "What we want is peace. Earth remembers its history. We remember when we fought each other over tiny pieces of land. We remember when we let pride and power control us." The hologram changed to show Earth's fighters practicing their quantum maneuvers. Lieutenant Rodriguez's Eagle Squadron danced between the massive ships, showing how humans and advanced AI worked together perfectly. That's why we developed in secret, Lisa explained. We didn't want our technology to become a source of fear. We wanted it to be a shield for those who couldn't defend themselves. Captain David Chen, standing in his dress uniform, stepped forward. Prometheus was built to show that humanity had grown up. We learned that true strength isn't about having the biggest guns or the most ships. It's about using what you have to help others. The chamber was silent as they watched more holograms. They saw Earth's quantum shipyards, hidden under the moon. They saw training centers where humans and AIs learned to work together. They saw peaceful applications of gravity control technology, helping to build new colonies. Earth is offering to share some of our developments, Lisa announced. Not weapons. We've seen what happens when advanced weapons fall into the wrong hands. But we'll share medical technology, exploration tools, and defense systems. The Federation Council erupted in excited discussion. Species that had once looked down on Earth now crowded forward, eager to work with the humans they had mocked. In orbit around Earth, Amanda Foster stood on Prometheus's engineering deck, watching new crew members learn about the ship's systems. She asked the AI, "Do you think we did the right thing, keeping our true capabilities hidden for so long?" The AI's blue light pulsed thoughtfully. Humans have a saying, "Actions speak louder than words." By waiting until we were needed, we proved Earth's wisdom as well as its strength. Back in the Federation chamber, Lisa finished her speech. Let today mark the beginning of a new era, not one where the strong bully the weak, but where advanced civilizations help developing ones. Not where we mock our differences, but where we learn from them. The chamber filled with applause. Even the new draconian representative clapped, having learned an important lesson about underestimating others. Admiral Wilson looked out at the gathered species. Earth is ready to take its place in the galaxy, he said. Not as conquerors, not as superiors, but as protectors, as friends. Above Earth, the 5 Prometheus-class ships moved in formation. Their strange black hulls absorbed sunlight, their quantum drives hummed with power, and their AI systems worked in harmony with their human crews. They were no longer Earth's secret. They were its promise to the galaxy. A promise that humans would use their power wisely, their technology carefully, and their strength to protect others. Lisa looked at her datapad one last time. A message from Captain Chen made her smile. Ready to protect and serve. The age of hiding was over. The age of helping had begun. And any species that thought about following the Draconians' example would think twice when they saw humanity's battleships appearing from quantum space, ready to defend peace across the stars. Earth had been underestimated for the last time. But instead of seeking revenge, they chose to seek friendship, that more than any weapon or technology, proved they were ready to lead.